If you believe you have true allies in the ruthless game of power, you have already lost. The very thought that loyalty is an unshakable foundation in the world of ambition is the first and most dangerous mistake. Power is a game of deception, an intricate chessboard where every piece moves with purpose and every move is calculated. No one is your friend. Everyone is a strategist cloaked in the illusion of companionship, waiting for the precise moment to turn the blade in your back. Machiavelli saw this with unrelenting clarity. He understood that loyalty is an illusion, an ephemeral concept that dissolves the moment personal interest is at stake. To the fool, trust is a virtue. To the master, trust is the weakness that paves the road to destruction. The world is not a sanctuary of sincere friendships, but a battlefield where every smile carries an agenda, every handshake hides a scheme, and every word spoken in confidence is ammunition for a future betrayal. The brutal truth is this: alliances exist only as long as you are useful. Once your value diminishes, so does the illusion of loyalty. The weak place faith in others, blindly believing that bonds forged in good times will endure hardship. But history, time and time again, has proven otherwise. The moment power enters the equation, friendships erode, partnerships crumble, and the once loyal become adversaries vying for the throne. The naive fall victim to the trap of trust, while those who grasp the mechanizations of power remain unscathed. Look around you, in business, in politics, even in the closest personal relationships. Betrayal is not an anomaly, it is the rule. A friend will sabotage another to ascend the social ladder. A lover will forsake promises when temptation presents a more rewarding opportunity. A confidant will wield your secrets as a weapon when the tide turns in their favor. This is not an occasional misfortune. This is the architecture of human ambition, where survival dictates action and sentimentality is nothing more than a liability. Machiavelli's wisdom remains as relevant today as it was centuries ago. He warned us that men forget the death of their father more easily than the loss of their wealth. In essence, material gain is a greater motivator than sentimentality. It is not morality that governs decisions, but self-interest. A ruler who seeks to remain in power must be willing to forsake virtue when necessary. He must understand that true power demands calculated ruthlessness, the ability to strike before being struck, and the wisdom to recognize that those who stand by your side today may very well be plotting your downfall tomorrow. Power, by its very nature, isolates. The higher you climb, the fewer people you can trust. The more you achieve, the more eyes fixate on your downfall. This is the price of ambition, the relentless solitude that comes with being at the top. The illusion of friendship fades as you realize that every individual around you is assessing your weaknesses, waiting for the moment you become vulnerable. And in that moment, the people you once called allies will transform into adversaries, justifying their betrayal with self-serving logic. In the modern world, this reality is even more pronounced. The rapid spread of information, the culture of public scrutiny, and the thirst for downfall have made loyalty more fragile than ever. A single misstep can be amplified, dissected, and turned against you. A careless word, a private conversation, a minor lapse in judgment, each becomes a tool for your enemies, a means by which they can dismantle the empire you built. And when that moment comes, who stands beside you? No one. The very people who once praised you will be the first to condemn you, eager to erase any association with the sinking ship. To believe in friendship in the game of power is to invite ruin. To think that anyone will place your well-being above their own is a fantasy. Your employees, your business partners, even those you call family, each of them, whether consciously or subconsciously, measures their interactions with you based on what they can gain. Acts of generosity are not seen as kindness, but as weakness. Words spoken in confidence are not cherished, but stored away as potential leverage. Every move you make is scrutinized, every mistake catalogued, every vulnerability noted for future exploitation. Machiavelli urged rulers to embody both the fox and the lion, the cunning of deception and the strength of intimidation. The wise ruler understands that deception is not a vice, but a necessity. Alliances are not built on trust, but on mutual benefit, and the moment your usefulness expires, so does the pretense of friendship. In the 21st century, this lesson is even more critical, and the modern battlefield is no longer fought with swords, but with information, influence, and perception. The tools have changed, but the game remains the same. Those who fail to grasp this reality are not just outmaneuvered, they are consumed, reduced to mere casualties of their own misplaced faith in loyalty. The naive believe that honor binds men together, that shared experiences or words of devotion forge an unbreakable bond. But history has been written by the ambitious, not the sentimental. Kings have been overthrown by their most trusted advisors. Empires have crumbled from within because a ruler miscalculated the greed and hunger lurking behind the polite smiles of their court. And in the modern age, betrayal is no longer carried out with daggers in the dark, but with calculated moves in boardrooms, social media manipulations, and well-placed whispers that ruin reputations overnight. But is there a way out? If loyalty is an illusion and alliances are fleeting, then what remains? The answer is simple: self-reliance. The only ally you can ever truly depend on is yourself. The only loyalty that matters is the one you cultivate within. Trust in your abilities, your judgment, and your capacity to anticipate betrayal. Machiavelli teaches us that survival in the game of power depends not on surrounding yourself with allies, but on ensuring that you are never in a position to be undone by them. To depend on others is to hand them the tools for your destruction. To believe in the permanence of friendships in the pursuit of power is to set yourself up for the most devastating fall. True strength lies in being immune to manipulation, in understanding that solitude is not a weakness but the only real armor against treachery. Those who depend on no one cannot be blackmailed. Those with no fragile ties cannot be betrayed. The lonely road of power is a harsh reality, but it is also the only path to true dominance. The pain of solitude is the price of control, and in the end, it is the only safeguard against the ever-looming threat of betrayal. In a world where perception is everything, where a single moment of vulnerability can undo years of calculated effort, the only true defense is unwavering self-reliance. Think of how many have fallen because they trusted too easily, because they believed a friend would never turn against them, because they assumed loyalty was something more than a temporary convenience. Every kingdom, every empire, every dynasty that has ever fallen did so not because of outside enemies, but because of the ones who stood closest to the throne. And so, we arrive at the inevitable truth, one that few will acknowledge, but all instinctively understand. Friendship, in the game of power, is a comforting lie, a fleeting illusion that crumbles under the weight of ambition. The closer you come to power, the more smiles you will see, but none of them will be real. The closer you climb to dominance, the more voices will praise you, but none of them will be sincere. And yet, many still chase this illusion, clinging to the belief that somewhere amidst the deception, a true friend can still be found. It is this misguided hope that makes them weak, that blinds them to the reality that power is a solitary pursuit. The most ruthless leaders in history did not rise to power through sentimentality. They rose through an unshakable understanding of human nature. They recognized that those who claim to be loyal often harbor their own ambitions, that every relationship is ultimately an exchange of power, and that the only true security lies in eliminating those who pose a threat before they have the chance to act. It is not paranoia, it is survival. And those who refuse to accept this truth, those who cling to the false notion of brotherhood in the game of power, will not last long. Power does not corrupt, it reveals. It exposes the true nature of those around you, and more importantly, it forces you to confront the depths of your own resilience. Can you withstand the solitude? Can you bear the knowledge that every interaction, every conversation, every alliance is merely a step in a larger game? Can you accept that in the end, the only person you can ever truly trust is yourself? As the silence settles, as you stand before the mirror, ask yourself, are you ready? Ready to forsake the comforting illusion for the brutal truth? Ready to step into the cold solitude that power demands? The answer lies within. The game never stops. The pieces are always moving. And in the end, the only thing that remains is the reflection staring back at you, the only ally you will ever truly have. Because when all else fades, when the crowds disperse and the voices that once praised you turn to whispers of betrayal, only one question will matter. Did you play the game, or did the game play you?